Live from Spare Bedroom Studios, you are listening to Under PDT.
Hey guys, thank you for checking out the first episode of Under PDT. I'm Will, and I'll be here with Wes. We are just some retail traders who specialize in microcap momentum, which there was certainly no shortage of today. And we're going to try and give you entertaining and educational takes on the market that hopefully you guys get some value out of, or at least laugh at. And if not, we're sorry we let you down. Right, Wes?
Yes. Yeah, we let the internet down. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, we certainly have the absolute optimal time to start, right? If we're micro traders, I mean, if we suck off the bat, we're probably going to suck in general.
Yeah.
So sorry to all 6 of you out there, because I mean, my God, we're in a mania, and we're probably right at the cracking point of the mania, in my opinion.
I think we're at the cracking point. Nothing besides my gut, which doesn't always serve me that well. I thought today was the day. And obviously we needed that range, but you saw the run up last night in TLRY and then the gap up this morning. I think it basically opened this morning in pre-market once it started getting volume around 187, ran all the way up to 239. So you've got a 50-point range there. You had a 150-point range on the day. I don't know when the last time was. I don't know if I've ever seen a stock like this move 150 points in a day.
I've never seen I mean, this is not a micro cap, but because I mean, its market cap at one point today was $30 billion. So it's ironic to talk about it like that. That's insane to think, right? And I mean, we could go until we're blue in the face on the household brands that it had a higher market cap than. But it clearly trades in the vein of insane momentum, and therefore brings our roughneck crowd part of the market. But yeah, I've never seen a stock that's on the platter for microcap retail momentum guys that has that sort of range. We thought this stock was insane at $80. It had an $80 gap up today.
Yes. Wow. When you put it in context like that, it's
unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow.
That's absolutely shocking. So you traded it pretty well, I thought. I actually liked your approach today.
So I didn't trade TLRY.
Well, I mean, that is step one to trading it pretty well, in my opinion.
Yeah, right. That's the market. You're watching that one in conjunction with everything else. I started out this morning. I started getting some entries in pre-market in CGC and Cron. And Cron, I just kind of covered up, made like 30 cents on my first trade on it, and just didn't want anything to do with it. I wanted to really focus on CGC because it all day long wasn't rallying at all. I mean, TLRY went on this monster run. So I had a good average at 55.11. And I'm not good at trading these really big days. I just don't show up prepared enough. And so today I was really kicking my own ass saying, hey, be prepared, be ready for this. This could be huge. And I do myself a disservice whenever I watch every tick. So I had a good average. I knew I wanted my risk at 57. So I was just willing to risk 2 points. And I was going to walk away. I didn't walk away. I sat here and watched every tick. And I ended up stopping out break even on it. And the rest is history on that. I didn't get back in. I did get back into Cron on what I saw was a valid timing point. Shout out to JM from All Day Holds. And got short at 1476. And I am still riding that. And so with that, I'm saying, hey, break even or ride it below 10.
Or like a nice big one. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, so you came out pretty green on the day, which is, I mean, good for you. I basically got very lucky. TLRY, which an individual who won't be named, we actually know someone who filled along on $300 in TLRY. And I always, when you look back and you see, like, you always wonder who bought the top of KBIO, who bought the top of Elfin, etc. We won't name him, but we do know someone who fills long 300 on TLRY. Granted, it was such an inconsequential position that their net loss was nothing, but that's a total. I'm going off on a tangent. When I was trying to fight NBEV all day, and I had actually not been scathed by pot stocks. I kind of had sidelined it the whole way because I did respect that this is, for institutional money, it's not that big a budget for them to make these more insane than we can handle. So I I sidelined it and didn't get crazy with any positions except when I saw the TLRY gap up today, which I really thought these guys now have their purpose served. And this is the end of the story. So I was fighting NBEV. I got stopped, break even once on relatively large size, still resulted in a loss from the commissions and slippage. And then I had two others that were smaller. One I just got stopped, like a normal size stop out. The other I chipped back a little bit, but still finished red on the day. Considering the nature of my positions, I'm pretty lucky that I was just very small red on the day. It was not good trading, but that's not every day is bright and beautiful, right?
You could say some of these ranges were liking to a bear market where people will short weakness and then the rips that you can get back in your face are unimaginable. Will just blow you up when you think it's an easy short.
And I even bared that in mind. You're completely right. You're completely right. This was a total sell the rip, buy the dip type day. If you try to take a proverbial trend and think you caught the reversal, you were most likely in trouble today. I just, we didn't have the TLRY blow off to 300 in the halt until late enough in the day that I think it actually preserved some of these stocks a little, albeit only a little. I think that halt, I think that is going to commence the backside, even though, TLRY after hours, what are we looking at? It's still at like 200, right?
197, 196. If that is not the top, then God help us all.
That's just impressive. And I second what you said. There's one Mania I traded really well. I traded the shipper Mania really well. All the others, I'm so enamored with the possibilities that I am not just taking my fundamental approach to the market, and I don't trade them well at all. Mm-hmm. And the shippers was perfectly catered to momentum traders, in my opinion, because you had the complete ringleader and dry ships, and then you had a bunch of other low floaters that gave good opportunities to get in long, and then you had proverbial pieces of crap that got shorted back into oblivion.
Yep.
Whereas pot stocks is just three ringleaders here. I guess NBEV throw its hat in the ring now, but it's really TLRY, CRON, CGC. And it's really just the three of those, and TLRY really going ham. That's really what
that's
this is.
That's TLRY is that clean ramp that you look to get short off into when it starts breaking in these massive ranges and going nuts like that. Whereas CRON and CGC, their charts are pretty choppy.
Yeah, they really are.
So
they really are. Aside from getting the initial uptrend, they haven't been notably great since that commenced. They just didn't go down.
Right.
They didn't crash. That's all.
Yeah, they were taking the hits from Citron and whoever else wanted to take a stab at them and coming back. I actually just covered up some MTEM, and that's one thing. We talked about MTEM this morning, how it was low-hanging fruit because everyone was watching bot stocks. I didn't see anybody talk about this thing all day. It was a layup short. It was a layup long out of the gate. And then they just did an offering after hours. So I saw that offering. I actually shorted it at 575 and just covered it.
Where is it trading at now? I don't even have my
last print was 515.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Yeah, MTEM, that was the layup trade of the day in reality.
And with the offering after hours and it barely just creeping down, there's no eyes on it at all still.
No, and I'm looking at their cash situation. It's not actually as bad as I thought it would be, but nonetheless, that gap up with that chart, that's all systems go.
Yeah.
For lack of a better way to put it, that's all systems go. I did know one guy who caught it. I did not catch it. That's what I'm saying, man. The Mania just puts me in a total funk. I don't catch the really obvious trade. I'm totally enamored with these four tickers that are borderline impossible to trade unless you caught them early. It was a pain in the ass day for me. But luckily, I think we're just going to kind of be moving on from this. I think that looking right now, TLRY, I believe, is pulling a little bit. Not really. TLRY might hang around, but I do think the others, this was sort of their time to go. And if it's not their time to go, this is just going to be really impressive, and I hope some more tickers become involved.
Absolutely. It's also nice that we had a Mania in September.
Yeah, I agree because August was slow as shit.
It was, and I feel like they usually don't come around until fall. So hopefully, this is just a sign that it's going to be a very active fall.
That would be awesome. I would be more than happy to have that. It was I mean, yeah, it was a good week leading up to this too, but I would love for this to sort of be the theme for the next couple of months. I'd be more than happy with that.
Absolutely.
If you could give me what November 2017 was and keep doing that over and over and over again, I know that that's like asking for the world, but I'd be really happy. That would be best case scenario.
That would be everybody's best case scenario.
Well, I mean, don't worry, man. You know, all the Twitter traders are going to, now that we're probably approaching the end of this run, which I mean, I say that, let me knock on wood. I have not been right on my timing of this at all. But now that we're approaching the end of this run, you know, every Twitter trader is going to talk about how they absolutely nailed it.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Because what else happens?
Once it gets stale in 2019, say maybe March, I don't know. Guys, I really wish we could go back to that pot craze. Wasn't that great? We were all just making money before we even woke up in the morning. But we never held long overnight, but we were making money before we woke up.
I was talking to a guy who's traded momentum longer than both of us have. And he was describing some of the climate in Oh, God. Sorry about that. He was describing some of the climate in 1999, 2000s, and it was almost sort of enamoring me with the possibilities for pot. But I don't think we're talking about something that's not quite as new or revolutionary as the internet was, but so I don't think that's on the horizon. But there was a little bit of time there. I was like, wow, what if TLRY, we get one of these a month? Or even more than that, what if we get a few of these a month?
That would be excellent. I'm going to save my opinion on what I think the overall pot market is, but I do think that these projections that you're reading about in Forbes or Wall Street Journal they're highly flawed. In my opinion, they're shooting over the moon on some of these projections of what the pot market.
So, are you basically saying I'm going to hold my opinion, but here's my opinion?
Yeah, without really getting it, without really just going down that path.
I know what you mean. I completely know what you mean. And also, I was thinking today, if someone told me TLRY is going to 300 before the SPY, there's no amount of money I wouldn't have bet on that. I would have totally bet on the SPY. I mean, obviously, assuming this was like 8 weeks ago, they gave me the bet on the IPO date. Luckily, that's not a bet that's available with my bookie.
Ooh. No, I mean, it is. It is. Call up Interactive Brokers. They'll be your bookie.
Is there some sort of swap on pace to 300 between SPY and TLRY?
There really should be. Actually, somebody was commenting to Shapiro today about something like that, but it's obviously has to be offered by the market, but they're legal in Canada. I'm like, Canada is just sounding better and better to me right now.
Wow. Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I mean, if at Interactive Brokers, man, you'll be lucky if you even get an answer. Forget getting a swap. You'll be lucky if you even get an answer on the phone. But I do have to say, with this coming up, if there's probably a fair likelihood if you're a newer person and you traded into this mania, you didn't do well. I would say don't let that discourage you, and don't let some of the Twitter input discourage you, because inevitably all the proverbial gurus are going to come out and say how great they did. And trading such a psychological game that sometimes seeing someone else's P&L can totally affect your outlook. And I think that's something that younger traders struggle with. And we do hope to be helpful to you guys. So I will say, do not get carried away with the really good and really bad of this mania. Just focus on what's consistent and how you can carve out your own niche.
I agree completely with that. And then from time to time, we're going to have top traders on, do some interviews, get some good information for you guys. And then we want some feedback. We want to know what you all think. I know this is just our first episode, and we haven't really gone into the depths of anything that we've done yet. But getting feedback, the email, Twitter, follow us on Instagram, anything that we can get that you guys want to hear about, we will certainly try to work that into doing this.
Yeah, and share trades. We promise in the beginning not to call you an idiot until we at least have 10 listeners. Then we might start calling people idiots. But seriously, share trades. We would love to post them up, and we'll give honest input on everything that happens. And as Wes said, the more interaction, the better. We do have some really awesome people coming on here, so you don't need to listen to just the two of us rant. We will have Shapiro, who we mentioned before. We will have JM from All Day Holds, and we got a bunch of other really excellent traders, both institutional and retail, lined up. And we're probably going to stink at first because this is our first time doing this, and all we're really good at is trading stocks at this point in our lives. So I will figure out how to mute my phone for next time.
Okay.
That's like, each time will be like one better. I could have sworn I put it on Do Not Disturb, and apparently Do Not Disturb can still ring. And then when you have it right next to your laptop rings after that.
I think there's certain numbers that can come through on Do Not Disturb no matter what time it is or whatever. So depending on who that was, they may have hacked your phone.
Yep. Damn. We're being sabotaged already. But guys, we appreciate you checking us out. Give us any and all feedback. We are the most adaptable podcast there is because we don't know what we're doing. So whatever you say, you can shape the show. Give us your input. Really appreciate it. And look out for a few interviews coming out of the next few weeks, especially with Shapiro from the PS60 system and with JM from All Day Holds. We are the official podcast of Cobra, our favorite broker. I don't know if they necessarily agree with that at this point in time, but we love them. And we will catch you guys later in the week. Thanks, guys.